how we doing? How's it going? Happy Saturday. It is now Saturday. I didn't post any updates yesterday because I just did not have the time. I digress. We just got back from a Battlehawks game and we won, so woo! Go sports team. And so I figured I would hop on here and give you a little update before the night continued. It's currently like 5 o'clock here, so we're gonna plan dinner and then eat dinner, maybe watch a movie. I don't know, Justin hasn't slept today, so he may have to sleep at some point, and I don't know if he'll stay awake during a movie, so we'll see how it goes. But I do have some updates for you. I wanted to let you know that one, I finished listening to Anne of Green Gables. I'll try to remember to put it here. It was very cute. I can understand why it's a classic. I can understand why people love Anne the way they love Anne. She's very sweet. She's very kind-hearted. She doesn't intentionally go out of her way to be naughty, but sometimes she just is. And she's very matter-of-fact, and she isn't really afraid to tell you what she thinks. And it's interesting to me because in the time period that that book is set in, that's not acceptable of a little girl. And so it's really interesting to me. And the connection with her and Matthew just makes my heart swell and makes my heart happy. And then her friend Diana, she's probably one of my favorite characters. It's so sweet. And the grudge she holds against Gilbert Blythe cracks me up. So it was still really good. It was interesting to watch Anne grow because when she's a little girl at 11 and 12 and 13, she talks really fast. She talks a lot. And it's just kind of like stream of consciousness. Like there's no really real rhyme or reason for what she is saying or why she is saying it. But she's so imaginative and she's so creative, and nothing is what it's supposed to be. Like it's always something else. Like she names a lake something different than just, you know, the pond, and the woods by her house are haunted, and so Lover's Lane when that's not what it's called. So she's very imaginative, she's very creative. I can understand why people love her. I can understand why this is a classic, and I'm glad I read it. I'm glad that I can say that this is a classic. I actually made it through, because if you've ever paid attention in previous vlogs, I've told you I don't necessarily like classics that much, but I'm trying. We'll see how it goes. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I wonder if it would have been different for me if I had read it instead of listened to it, because it was almost, the talking was almost too much for me, like the amount of talking she did. I would find myself kind of rolling my eyes and saying, come on, and wrap it up. Not much like everybody else in her life, I guess. So yeah, but it was still 4 out of 5 stars, and I'm really glad I read it. It's definitely sweet, and I totally understand why people love Anne as much as they do. With that said, I also have finished Witch Hat Atelier 2. This was pretty simple to read. I mean, it's a manga. It's only 89 pages, so less than 200 pages, and it's a manga, so there's pictures. And this one was good too. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I am realizing that when I was in high school, I really liked to read mangas, and I enjoyed them, and graphic novels and all of that, but as I got older, I felt like weird or strange to be an adult reading mangas and comic books and things of that nature, and so I think I'm going to get back into that trend of reading these because they are so beautiful and they are really good stories. Like, so this is volume 2. So volume 1 set up the story where you meet Coco, who accidentally ends up doing a spell that turns her mother into stone, and so she ends up becoming an apprentice for a witch to try to work on some powers and get the, you know, her magic, get magic basically, because in this world you draw spells, and so she's working on becoming an apprentice for that. And then this one more or less continues that journey. It's a little bit deeper, I guess. There's more action in this one. There's like a carriage that they have to save, and now, you know, Coco's getting herself in trouble. This one kind of follows Agate, who is Coco's roommate, and Agate doesn't really like Coco very much because she is a normal person, not necessarily a witch, and doesn't really understand magic, who comes in and becomes this huge deal, and the master wants to make sure that Coco's getting everything she needs and all of this stuff, and Agate has worked really hard, and so there's just this, you didn't earn your space here, so I don't need to be nice to you kind of thing with Agate. But it follows her more or less in this one. as she kind of dives into the deep end with magic when she maybe wasn't quite ready for that. Yeah, it's good. It was 4 out of 5 stars. It's really good. The illustrations in this are always just so, they're pretty. They're very, very pretty and beautiful and all of those lovely things. So that one is complete as well. So then I'm currently reading The Inheritance of Orquídea de Vida by Zoraida Cordova. And this is a book club book for the Fox and Wood. It's for the Fox and Burrow book club, the adult one, through Alexandra Roseland. So it's really good. And it's also for my magical readathon. I'm doing that as well. So it's for elemental studies, I believe. And elemental studies prompt was flowers on the cover. So yeah, flowers on the cover. I am not far into this one. I'm only on page 34, chapter 3, but it is really good. A lot of people kind of compare it to Encanto, the movie that, you know, it's about history of grandparents and Hispanic cultures and things of that nature. So, but it is really good. I can kind of get the Encanto vibes, kind of, sort of. It's like a casita. Have you ever seen Encanto? Casita is the house. And so they basically, Orquídea basically lives in a casita. It's like gives them everything they need and make sure they have what they need in order to survive. So, and her whole family has grown up in this house until they got older and all the grandchildren left, and now she is dying, and she sends them all a note that says, I am dying, come get your inheritance. And so they all have to, all the grandchildren, cousins have to go back and see what's up with Orquídea. And they all know that their grandmother is strange and into magic and into all that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes, because apparently the inheritance is not what they're expecting. It's going to be flipping back and forth between like Orquídea when she moved to Four Rivers, and then the grandkids as they're coming back to Four Rivers, which is where Orquídea lives. So it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to continuing it. It is really good. It's keeping me into it, so I guess that's a good thing, right? That's pretty much my only update for you. I have to fill some eggs for the Easter bunny for tomorrow morning, because I have a 5-year-old that's going to be Easter egg hunting, and I need to prep their baskets and things of that nature. And then of course we know tomorrow is Easter, so we'll be spending some time with some family and hanging out and doing our thing and eating food. It'll be a good day, I hope, I think. We'll see. And then, yeah, I think that's it. I think that's really it. That's really the only updates I have for you. I need to go to Half Price Books because I have coupons, but I have not had a chance to do that yet, but I want to go soon. Like, I need more books in my life, but whatever. All right, so I'm gonna go back out to my family, and I am going to go ahead and pick up my book here now that the football game is over, and I can relax a little bit as the night continues. And I'm gonna read, and I'm gonna relax, and I'm gonna have just a darn tootin' good time. So I hope you guys are having a good Friday, and I will catch up with you guys in a bit. Bye. doing? Happy Monday. I'm in the process of cooking dinner, but I wanted to hop on and give you just a little bit of an update. I am still working on Orchina Divina. I'm about halfway through, so hopefully I'll be able to power through tonight maybe and get that at least close to finished, if not done completely. Allergies are having a field day today, so yay, springtime. But I also wanted to let you know that yesterday was Easter and we had a really nice time. We spent some time with family, but I got to run into Books A Million yesterday after we were all done at my family's house, and I picked up Immortality because I loved anatomy so much. I want to dive right in. I want to figure out what's going on. So I will hopefully get this one read this month at some time too. So I'm very excited for that. And then today I went to the library to drop off 2 books, and then I picked up 4. And so first, the ones I put on hold were Garlic and the Witch by Brie Polson. It's a graphic novel that I've heard absolutely wonderful things about. So I'm very much looking forward to it. It's been recommended throughout a lot of different videos I've watched for a lot of different years. So I'm gonna really enjoy this one. Mind you, I don't know anything about it, but that will be fun. Then I picked up The Grace of Wild Things by Heather Fawcett. I just read the Encyclopedia of Fairies, and so I'm really excited to read this one. It's an April buddy read with the Discord channel, so I'm excited. It's supposedly supposed to be like a take on Anne of Green Gables, but I'm not real sure. So this book follows Grace, and she is very good with magic, and she is living in an orphanage and nobody wants to adopt her. So she runs away from the orphanage to go and see the wood witch, the witch of the woods, basically, the witch of the woods. And so that the witch can teach her more about her magic. And so turns out that the witch is actually really bad. She eats children, takes their souls, that kind of thing, and gobbles up their hearts. And so yeah. It says, so Grace offers her a deal. If she can learn all 100.5 spells in the witch's grimoire, the witch will make Grace her apprentice. But if Grace fails, the witch can take her magic. The witch agrees, and soon an unexpected bond develops between them. But the spells are much harder than Grace expected, and when a monster from the witch's past threatens the home Grace has built, she may have to sacrifice more than her magic to save it. We'll see. I'm intrigued. So then 2 that I just kind of found as I was walking out was... I found Demon in the Wood, Lee Bardugo. This is about the Darkling from the Grishaverse, the Shadow and Bone series. His story, his backstory a little bit. And it's really, I was looking through it. The pictures, the illustrations look really nice. So I'm excited to read about that because I liked, in Shadow and Bone, I think I liked the Darkling. I think that's what kept me intrigued. Like, the series itself was good, but it wasn't great. But I did like the Darkling. But I think everybody likes the Darkling, right? And then I grabbed Heartstopper Volume 1 because I have heard wonderful, wonderful things about this story. I know that it's also a show on Netflix, but I've heard wonderful things about this entire series, and I have not jumped on the Heartstopper train yet. So I'm excited. Let's go. So it says, boy meets boy, boys become friends, boys fall in love. Shy and soft-hearted Charlie Spring sits next to rugby player Nick Nelson in class one morning. A warm and intimate friendship follows, and that soon develops into something more for Charlie, who doesn't think he has a chance. But Nick is struggling with feelings of his own, and as the two grow closer and take on the ups and downs of high school, they come to understand the surprising and delightful ways in which love works. So this, I think, will be very cute, and I think I'm going to let Charlie read it when I'm done, but the illustrations are cute as well. So I'm very excited. So that's my little haul for you. I am making orange chicken, white rice, make some broccoli for myself, and then, yeah, the kids really like the rice for the most part. I'm going to see if Cadence will eat the chicken, but we'll see. Not so sure about that one. I did get my comfy chair in the mail, so I'm excited for that. And it's gonna go in my bedroom next to my bookshelves once we get Justin's dresser transferred to the smaller dresser. It's been a really nice weekend, and the weather's really been nice, so that's been extremely helpful. It's sunny, which is good. The only thing is my allergies. The trees are starting to bloom, so Mama's sniffling a lot. All right, well, I am going to wrap dinner up. The chicken should be just about done, and then I will catch up with you in a bit. See you later. Bye.
see from the moment we arrived. Cornelia.
I didn't realize I was already filming. My bad. Hello, friends. Happy Tuesday. I am sitting in line, of course, waiting to get Cadence. Because what else would I do on a Tuesday afternoon at 3:47? But I wanted to give you guys a bit of an update. I'm going to turn this down. You're probably hearing a lot of that. I have started listening to What Lies in the Woods. I finally got the Libby audiobook from my library, so I started listening to that. I just kind of picked up where I had left off in the actual physical book. I'm about halfway through, literally like right at halfway through, and it's really good. Like, there's lots of questions about who done it and what's real, and there's definitely an underlying theme of witness testimony and how it can be affected and changed, and how police can actually add to that in some ways, especially with children. If you don't know the story, it's What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall, and it is a story about three friends who, when they were 11, one of them was attacked and almost killed in the woods by their house. They stood on the stand, they said, this is the person that did it, this is who tried to hurt me, hurt Naomi, blah blah blah. And here we are several years later, and needless to say, now we're questioning everything. So yes, so it's all interesting. It's quite, the story itself is very interesting, and you don't know. Like, I don't know. You think you have it, and then you're wrong. And so it's got lots of twists and lots of turns, and I enjoy it. It's very fun, and the audiobook is really good too, so that's been great. Also, I am working my way through My Heart is a Chainsaw, and I'm only on I just finished chapter 5. We're doing it as a buddy read through Discord, and if I'm being honest, like, I'm not digging it. I don't know why. It's just, I don't know if it's the way it's written, the discussions about the different slasher films. I don't really know. And I don't really know where the story is going. So that's another issue, is like, there's no plot yet. I mean, it started with someone being suspiciously murdered, but now it's like it's following a girl who is obsessed with slasher flicks, and it's like everything refers back to a slasher film. And so you know that there's like this big thing gonna happen. You know, it's safe to assume that we're gonna have a final girl, we're gonna have a slasher story, so, but it's not there yet, and I don't know where it's going. And so it is hard for me to get into, it is hard for me to understand. Like, I don't know what else to say about that. So I am going to give it until chapter 10, because we have to read chapters 6 through 10 this week for the buddy read. So I'm gonna give it till then, and if I'm still not into it, I'm DNFing it. Like, it was on Kindle Unlimited, I didn't spend any money on it. I'm just gonna DNF, and I have to be okay with DNFing. I have discovered that I push through books way too often that necessarily don't deserve my time, and so I have to get better in 2023 about DNFing books. I have to be okay with that. So then, last but not least, I am the last few pages of, I have less than 100 pages to go, of Orquídea Divina, and this book is beautifully written. I will give you that. It is a beautifully written story. It is an interesting look into generational trauma, and it is an interesting look into how families relate to one another. And I come from a family where I know all my cousins, I spend a lot of time with my cousins, I spend the holidays with my family, and it's normal. That's normal. But then you have people that I know that don't come from that don't spend any time with their family, don't spend any time with their extended family. And to me, that's not normal. To them, that's normal. And so the question becomes, what's normal? And so in this case, Orquídea has transformed, and I'm not going to tell you what she's transformed into. She hasn't really died. She's not in the land of the living, but she's also not in the land of the dead. And so she is transformed, and she has died with this secret that nobody knows. And it takes me back to a conversation I had with my sister, who is 3 years older than me, and how we had recently found out that someone in our family had died, but they had died several years ago. And we made a vow. We said, we will talk. We will not hide things. We will not, like, if there's something that one of us needs to know, we'll make sure that we know it. And my sister and I have never had like the best relationship. It's better now that we're both adults, but there was a lot of trauma, a lot of stuff in our history that kept us apart. And so it's interesting because I just read a part that says, hadn't I done the same thing to her, pushed her away because of my own shame? I shouldn't have left, but I did. It's my own fault. We don't talk. None of us. Why don't we ever talk? Silence is a language of its own in this family, a curse of our own making. That's the inheritance my daughter got from me, and I am so very sorry. It's true. There are so many things out there that it's like, you feel like you don't talk, your families don't talk. And so many things come out after somebody's death, and a lot of times you have to hunt that information down. And it's interesting. So it's like these granddaughters and grandsons of Orquídea Divina are going to Ecuador, and they are trying to figure out what is going on because something is hunting them. And Orquídea gave them nothing. She told them nothing about it. She just left them some kind of magic and said, protect your magic, and this is what we're dealing with. It didn't tell them anything. Didn't tell them what was coming after them. Didn't tell them how she got involved with it. And so now they're like hunting answers down. And there's a lot of confusion, and there's lots of death. Lots of people have died. And it's like, just talk. But again, generational trauma. And the truth is, I've noticed, and thank you, Encanto and everything else that I have read about Hispanic history, that a lot of times that doesn't happen in Hispanic families. And it's because it's just a pride thing. So, and that's one thing that is the theme throughout this book, is how prideful Orquídea Divina was and how she refused to leave her house. And she let everybody leave. She did her best to protect them. But when you left, you left. There was no real talking after that. So it's interesting. And I'm curious to see how it ends. I'm curious because there is this underlying story going on that you don't know what is coming, and I don't know like how this magic person or this curse that Orquídea has been having and has passed down to her family has like affected them. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know the deal. It goes back and forth. It goes between like present day, and you're seeing the cousin's point of view, and it goes back, and then you're seeing what's happening to Orquídea as she is growing up and the decisions she is making. And so you see that happening. You see that going on, and it goes back and forth. And I think that's actually really neat, and it is really working for this book because it's like when you're with the cousins in present day, it's like this is what they're working on discovering, and then you pick up the chapter and that gives you the information from Orquídea's point of view. So it's working for this book. I enjoy it for this book. Some books it doesn't work for, but it is working for this book. I am enjoying this book. I'm gonna finish this tonight. I can promise you that. And we're getting ready to move. Ride with me, won't you? Until I park. The school does this thing where it's like, I'm outside in front of the school and they bring the kid to the car and all this fun stuff, but it's a process. It's always a process. So yes, here we are. I can stop now. Whoop. Oh, park. Put my car in park. So I'm enjoying this book. I am going to finish this by tonight for sure. Lexi's doing sprints, and I'm gonna, as soon as we're done, as soon as I have cadence and I get home, I'm gonna hop on, because I am on page 274 and there's only 322 pages. It's gonna be good. I'm excited. I'm gonna wrap it up. All in all, I'm having a relatively decent reading week, which is nice. And then, yeah, I have a bunch of books I got from the library that I want to read, and I have some more that I have to go pick up, and I'm really deciding that my library is like the way to go. Waving to the teacher, because I don't need to keep buying books. Like, I should utilize my library. Like, I really want to read mangas, and so I'm going to utilize those for my library, because I don't necessarily want to own them, but I want to read them, and I need to get back into the habit of doing that instead of just buying books I want, seeing if I can find it at the library, or sticking with books of specific authors, or if I'm looking for a book that's a sequel that I already own, then buying it. But otherwise, I need to get back into utilizing my library services. So I'm going to be doing that more often, I think. I am getting ready to be called up to get Miss Cadence, so I will catch up with you guys later, I think. And then, yeah, and definitely tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have finished Orquídea and we can talk. So hopefully I'll catch up with you later. If not, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye! Hi, friends. It is now Tuesday night. Justin is putting Miss Cadence to bed, so I figured I would go ahead and give you guys a little bit of an update. Took Charlie to a hair appointment, so they got their hair cut and they're very excited, so that's nice. But I wanted to let you know that I finished The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina, and I have thoughts. So it is a 5-star read. I really enjoyed it. It was lyrically beautiful with such a great take on magical realism. It really looked at grief and family relationships and what those can look like. It was magical, it was sweet, there were parts of it that was funny. Raymundo is probably my favorite character in this book, but it was very good. And so that it got 5 stars for me. And by the end of it, I was happy. Things worked out the way you wanted them to. It was nice. But what I wanted to chat about was that there were parts of this that were kind of hard for me to understand. Mostly a little bit about the magic. Like, I don't really know how to explain it without giving any spoilers away, but there are parts about this and the magic system and the way that Orchida's magic works that had me going, huh? But they do kind of spell it out. It is kind of nice. And it is also nice that it kind of takes until the end of the book to really figure out what's going on. And it's really hard to tell what the story is doing and where it's going and what to expect. So that was nice. It was nice to not really know until the last like 30 pages, like what's really going on and who's hunting the family and what the big secret was from Orchida and what the inheritance means and all of that stuff. But yes, like I said, there are parts of it that were just a little bit hard for me to decipher and figure out, but eventually I did get there. It just took more time. But otherwise, it was still a very beautifully written book. It's very nice. It is a beautiful, lyrically written book. It has fantasy, it has magic, it has romance, it has everything you could possibly want in a really good story. 5 stars. Check. That makes 3 out of 5 books for the Magical Readathon, all finished. Yay me. So then I decided that I needed something easy, something light, something I can maybe get through kind of fast, and I figured a graphic novel in my life would be good. So I have decided to start reading Heartstopper by Alice, I think it's Oseman. Cute little couple here that are trying to navigate feelings and relationships and things of that nature. So again, very beautiful, very cute drawings. This will be a super cute read for me, or a super quick read for me. So yeah, I'm excited. So this is going to be my next baby to read, and hopefully I'll be done with it by tomorrow and then I can move on to something else. I was watching earlier Olivia Reads a Latte, her vlog, and she's been going to the library and like she was super nervous about it, but she went and she's put a bunch of stuff on hold and she's hauling all of her library books, and I'm just like, I want that one. I want to read that one. I want to read that one. So next thing I know, I've gone from having 6 holds to having 7 or 10 or 12, or it's a lot, but I'm excited because like I said earlier, I really am going to start utilizing our library a little bit more. And actually the St. Louis County Library and the St. Charles County Library and a lot of other libraries in the area kind of have like an agreement where St. Louis County residents can check out books from St. Charles County and vice versa. So I'm going to try to go up to the St. Charles County Library and get that card so that maybe I can access their Libby too, because there's a book that some of the moms on Discord are reading and it's called I'm Mom So Hard, and it's based off of a podcast, and I don't really know anything about it, but they're raving about it and they love it and they think I should read it. They think any mom should read it. But when I went to try to find it on Libby for St. Louis County, they don't have the audiobook, and I would really like the audiobook because it's not fiction, it's nonfiction, and so I really want the audiobook because I feel like I would probably get into that a little bit better. So that's the goal. I don't know when that's gonna happen, but it is the goal. And then I got some inspiration from another Discord pal, and I think I'm gonna do some stuff to my shelves. I found these really cute, like people put like vines and stuff on there, but I think I want to do like cherry blossoms because I really love cherry blossom trees, and I told Justin I really want a cherry blossom tree. So I think I'm gonna find like strands of fake cherry blossoms and put them up there and then kind of go from there. I think I want to put fairy lights in there too and all of that kind of stuff. And then my chair will go over here in the corner, which I'm not going to show you because it's messy right now, once Justin's dresser is put into the smaller one and we can move everything over and shove it over. So that's exciting. I'm very excited. It's going to be a project, but it's a project I'm looking forward to. That is really the only update I have for you. I'm gonna go read for a little while until Justin goes to work, and then I'll probably go to bed because I'm pretty tired. And then we'll kind of go from there. So if I don't catch up with you tonight, I will catch up with you tomorrow. Good night.
You are one who will survive when time's been bad. You put smiles on everyone. I think of.
Okay, so these two are just adorable. Like, I'm only on page 64, and Charlie is just the best. And I was reading this, and I was like, why? Why is that me? I'm just a bit scared of letting everyone down, and I don't even know whether they like me or want me on the team, or... Yeah, that's... Hi, anxiety! Hi, friends! You just missed one heck of a sneezing fit. Man, I swear, the outside is trying to kill me. I love spring. I love everything about spring, the pretty colors, the fact that everything turns green again, and life just seems better, and it gets warmer, except the frickin' trees. The trees start to bloom, and the pollen starts to fall, and Kristen starts to sneeze. I woke up this morning with a sore throat, so I'm like, find the cough drops, moving on. It's gonna be a long week, I think. And it's Wednesday, and it's already been a long week, but whatever. Here we are. So I am sitting in the parking lot at my library because I have a problem. So I have at least 3 books in there to pick up that I put on hold, and I'm still waiting for at least 3 more that I put on hold. And I will say, last night, another update for you, I finished Heartstopper Volume 1 in like 30 minutes. I mean, it helps that it's like a graphic novel, comic book type, you know, but I just kind of rushed. It was so cute. It was so cute. Like, I don't know why I waited so long to read these dang books. It was so stinking cute and so very relatable. Like, it doesn't matter that the story is about 2 gay boys in high school, because what they're thinking, what they're feeling, the thoughts that are racing through their head, it's all very relatable, because I feel like everybody does that at that age, when your hormones are flying and you're learning about crushes and what it means to like somebody and all of that kind of stuff. It's relatable. It's very relatable. And since I read it, I went ahead and downloaded volumes 2 and 3 to my Kindle, and I will probably power through those, maybe possibly before the night is over. I don't know. I was supposed to take Charlie to their therapy appointment, but so with the sneezing and the sore throat and everything else, I messaged their therapist and I said, hey, can we do it virtually? I don't feel good. And they said, of course, we can do it virtually. So Charlie has a virtual therapy appointment today, and I am going to go home and I am going to make some tea for my throat, drink lots of water, yeah, and decide whether or not I want to take another antihistamine. It says take 1 in 24 hours, but can someone tell me what's really going to happen? What's going to happen? I should probably ask Kristen on the Discord, the other Kristen on the Discord. She's a nurse. She might be able to tell me. I am just so sneezy. On to something new. I did decide to go ahead, because it is my thickest book and because I want to power through, I did pick back up A Court of Mist and Fury, because I think I'm ready for it now. I mean, I'm already tabbing the crap out of it. So I'm gonna put spoilers down there briefly, because I can't talk about this book without spoiling it, because if you haven't read the first one, and it means you haven't read this one, and what I'm gonna say will, you know, spoil it. So I am currently at the point, I'm at part 2, House of Wind. So Tamlin just trapped Feyre in the mansion, in the house, in the court, and she had her little panic attack, and Rhys came, well, Moore came and saved the day and took her back to Rhys, who took her back to the Night Court, and who is now taking her to Valaris, introducing her to Valaris. At this point, they're still snarky to one another. He is charming as all get out. She is snarky and doesn't know what to think of him, doesn't know what to make of him, but she has agreed to stay until she can figure out what to do next, because Tamlin keeps making all of these promises, and then Tamlin fails on his promises. She's locked in the house, and she's having a panic attack and they're not talking about what happened under the mountain, and he's lashing out. He's turning into a beast. Magic powers are just exploding. And so yes, here we are. She's now with Reese and will continue, and that makes me so happy because if you've read this book, you know that she's pretty much with Reese for the rest of the book. Yeah, I love Reese. And then she's going to meet the court, and she's going to meet Moore, and she's going to meet Cassian, and she's going to meet all of them, and I'm so excited because I love this little crew. Spoilers off. I'm part 2, 135 pages in, taking it up again for the second time. I attempted to read another chapter of My Heart is a Chainsaw, and guys, it's just not doing it for me. I don't know what to tell you. It's not doing it for me. I may have to DNF, and I don't like to DNF. As I stated, I don't like to DNF. And I am over halfway through What Lies in the Woods, and I am getting suspicious of absolutely everybody. Everybody is a suspect in my mind, except Naomi. But even then, who knows? Who freaking knows? With Kate Alice Marshall, who knows? This is really good, though. This book is really good. If you like thrillers and you like twists and turns and you like not knowing who's who and what's what and who's gonna pop out of the woods as your killer, this is for you. It's wonderful. I will say it makes me never want to go in the woods alone. Not that I do that on the regular, because that's just, not smart. All right, friends, I'm gonna run into the library and then get my books, and then I'm gonna go sit and wait for Cadence to get out of school while I listen to What Lies in the Wood. I'm hoping to put another good dent in it because I would like to finish it up. We shall see. I have about 4 hours left. If I don't finish it today, maybe I'll finish tomorrow while I'm doing work from home. All right, friends, come with me to the library again, because you haven't seen it once already, if not twice already in this vlog, right?
And of all I should have done, it don't mean a thing what shape or form that you're in, the place you're from, the wealth or the color of your skin, and all you have burns to the sky. It's all too late, and you wonder why.
How you doing? How's it going? So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap out this vloggy vlog. Wrap up this vloggy vlog. And I wanted to let you know that I did end up finishing What Lies in the Woods. I had gotten to, I had way less than half the book to go. So when I got home, I just picked it up and read it and finished it. And I will say it was fantastic. It's a 5-star read. It's probably one of the best thrillers I've read in a really long time. The twists, everyone's a suspect. Everyone is, questioned. Everyone is, you just really start to wonder. And then when you think you got it, you're wrong. Just assume you're wrong the whole time. So wrong. I was right about one thing. I did call one thing, but that was almost glaringly obvious. But otherwise, it was good. It was great. I had a great time. It was fun. So that's that. So that means I read several books in this vlog, which makes me very, very happy. So I hope you guys are having a really great week. I hope that you guys are reading some really good books. I hope that the sun is shining. I hope that the birds are chirping. I hope that your mental health is okay. I hope that you're drinking lots of water. And I hope that everything is just going very well for you. So until next time, go ahead and like and subscribe. And you can leave me a book emoji, because that's just fun. I think that's it. I think I'm good. I think I can wrap it up now. So live, love, read lots of good books, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.
It's a struggle in the strife, but don't you agree?